Think about this. How many times have you been in this conversation? It starts off with someone saying, "Hey, can I talk to you?" We say, "Of course." And they start talking about what's on their mind, what's troubling them, what has happened. And about, just a few seconds into them talking, we say, "Okay, I got the fix for you. Here's what you're going to do. Tomorrow when you walk in, you're going to go up to this person and you're going to say this. Whatever you do, don't say that. As soon as those two things are done, then I want you to do this. And then later that day, I want you to approach them and say this. And then, by the way, here's the rest of the 17-point plan to fix what you're describing to me." Have you been in that conversation? Most of the time it ends with the person that is trying to tell you something. They get up and under their breath, they're walking away going, he doesn't get me. He doesn't love me. He doesn't understand me. And you know what? They're right. They're right because that's what you showed them. That's what you gave them. You gave them a fixer when what they wanted was somebody to listen, not fix. Listen, to understand what's going on with them. Oftentimes, they're not ready for the fix, even though that 17-point plan that you offered them is exactly what they need to do. It would work. It would be very helpful. It would help them immediately. They're not ready for that. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to not show up as a fixer. I want you to think, first of all, are you a fixer? I am. If this were a webinar or a seminar, I'd ask the audience, if you're a fixer, raise your hand. And that's all I would need to say, because most people know who they are. And it is very much a sad situation when the fixer shows up to someone who just wants empathy, understanding, kindness, compassion. It's a sad day. So one of the things we need to think about is how to avoid that. There's a YouTube video that I'll link in the description down below called "It's Not About the Nail." It's not about the nail. And it's a very popular YouTube video. Many people that I show it to have seen it before or have heard about it. And it's a really good illustration. Yes, it's a couple actors role-playing this out, but it's a very good demonstration of what happens when somebody has a horrible situation, in this case, something to do with a nail. I'm not being elusive on purpose. I just don't want to spoil it for you because it's a very good video, and I would encourage you to watch it. But they don't want to fix. And yet the person across from them is trying to fix and keeps going back to, trying to fix this situation. One of the things that we have to realize is that, one, that person might not be ready for a fix. No matter how awesome it is, it could get you a Nobel Peace Prize because it's so awesome. But if they're not ready for it, then you're just cramming it. It's square peg in a round hole. This series is about tailoring your communication. We've also mentioned it's about knowing your audience. I also have a video that I'll link in the description down below that talks about how to show up and maybe what to do when someone says, "Hey, can I talk to you?" so that you know your place. Am I listening for this or am I listening for this? Am I listening to with love and understanding and kindness and compassion and taking on your perspective and paying attention to what's going on and how you feel? Or am I still doing all of that, but also listening with an ear or maybe the left brain of logic on, we're gonna have to solve this problem, and they're gonna come to you or look to you for some advice or some things to do, maybe a 17-point plan. So first of all, we go back to the simple solves the complex. That's part of that series of, would you like me to listen with love or listen with logic? There are many ways to say that also professionally. Would you like me to listen to just understand what's going on, Or should I listen to help you solve problems and come up with solutions? But in this case, let's just say that you're not asking that question and they say, hey, can I talk to you? And you say, absolutely. One of the things to do is to drop into that person's perspective. Become that person, if you will, in perspective only. You don't have to empathize, to communicate well, to listen well. You don't have to have had the same situation happen to you. You don't even have to have something happen close to that same situation. So again, just to reiterate that, it doesn't have to be an apple to apple. It doesn't even have to be an apple to orange comparison. You're taking a perspective. What must it be like to stand in their shoes? What must it be like for them to have gone through this or to be experiencing this? Sometimes it's even about just trying to imagine what it must be like to look at that situation, that issue that they're having through the lenses, through the eyes as they see it. This will help you a lot when you want to improve communication and not be a fixer. And a lot of times they do just need to unload this before they will welcome, and oftentimes even switch from just wanting to unload it to maybe vent, just to have that empathetic space, to asking you, so what do you think? What do you see that I don't see? Do you see anything that I can do that will help? But it first starts with not being a fixer. Don't show up as Dr. Phil. Don't show up as somebody that has a solution. Oftentimes that's perceived as a know-it-all. And people most people don't want to know it all at any point in their life. What they want is someone that understands their unique situation and how they feel about it. And a lot of times, again, after that is unloaded, if that's presented, we have a real clear picture of what they're going through. And we can always offer. Hey, thanks for sharing that with me. I know you said you're not really in a place for a fix or a solution, but if you ever want to talk about that, or if you want to, put our heads together and brainstorm a few ideas, let me know. I have a few. Or sometimes it's even appropriate to say, you know what, I understand what you're going through. And I haven't had that situation. I've had some friends that have had that situation or close to that, and I know they have gotten through it. I can find out what they did when you're ready, and I can let you know. There are always things you can do like that, but the last thing a person wants is to have a fixer show up and cram a solution or a plan down their throat, into their head when they're not ready. This is divisive. It drives people away, when most of the time we had good intentions of coming closer to that person, but yet we end up just shoving them away and diminishing them and the situation and, of course, how they feel about it. So I will leave you with this thought. To paraphrase the quote from Maya Angelou, people won't remember what you did or what you said. They will remember how you made them feel. And a lot of times it's just about listening. It's just about switching perspective into their perspective, and not about being a fixer. There'll be plenty of time to fix things with you and others, but a lot of times just show up and use the two of these and close the one of these. Folks, until next time, take care of yourself so you can take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video.